So if I just show you here as I walk along, this is why immediately, because I've been reading so much about mountain lion scrapes, I immediately saw this fresh scrape last weekend, and I was getting a bit disappointed or despondent because I was looking at the ground thinking, how are we actually going to get a paw print or anything like this in this ground with so many leaves on it. But if you come around, you'll see the size of it. So this gives you an idea of the size of the animals. Hi, it's Michael and welcome to this video. So as you can see, I'm in the woods this time. And the reason for this is because I think I found a scrape about a week or so before Christmas. And so this is coming after hearing screams from a mountain lion coming out of these woods and capturing what I think are pumas running towards that screaming sound. So just a bit of background about mountain lion scrapes or puma scrapes. So they do this in areas with a lot of debris on the ground, and the idea is that it holds the scent from the mountain lion and is a way for both pumas and leopards to communicate to each other and to show that their presence in an area. And so they have scent glands on the bottom of their paws, and they can also urinate or defecate on these piles as well that they scrape up. And so I'll show you the video from that time when the scrape was fresh, and then show the general area and some other, what I think other scrapes I found, and how this shows a potential travel route. So I put a 6-inch ruler in as well into the scrape, so you can see it's definitely bigger than 6 inches. And then I zoom in on that, so you can see that's 30 centimeters from one side to the other there, or 11.5 or 12 feet or 12 inches. And so the idea with these scrapes, sorry I keep turning the camera around, is that they'll put their back feet in, so the other way around, and then they'll push the dirt backwards and create a pile of dirt at the back. So I didn't measure anything when I had the scats, because to me, when I'm filming it and looking at it now, it just looks like the right size and looks bigger than say a dog mess or anything like that. But obviously it's harder when you're filming. And so the way you can tell the difference apparently between this and a dog is that dogs just generally kick mess all over, kick leaves all over the place, but the cat will actually scrape it backwards and form a bit of a pile. So you can see there's fresh dirt behind. There's a branch running across, you can see the dirt's kind of being pushed back against that, and then so they might urinate on it, or they might even defecate on it. But generally the idea is that they have scent glands on the bottom of their paws, and so when they rub them along the ground, and that actually leaves the scent that other mountain lions can come across. And it's basically they put it along main travel routes, just so that if any other male was straying into the territory, then they would obviously not miss this, and then females can come along and know which males are in which territory. And obviously if they're ready to mate, they can leave their own scent markings, or make their own scrapes, or urinate on it. So that's called the pile of dirt sort of behind. But it's very different in the UK, or it's always looks very different when you see something here than when you used to see videos of things in America. So each side of this should equate to the size of a mountain lion's paw. So you can see it should be 3.5 inches. And then if I move it back along there, it should be another 3.5 inches there. And I've actually got the measurements for males and females. so you can tell by the width of the scrape whether it's a male or a female. This is the path leading up to where I found the scrape. As you can see, it comes to an area with brambles on both sides and then slows down a bit. So apart from being in an area with either heavily wooded or with like very ancient wood, so it's got a lot of leaf matter on the ground. So in America they probably have more pine needles. Also areas where an animal has to slow down, where you'll find these scrapes. So basically here there was a little chicane, and then you come out and then the scrape was right here in front of you, so it was there. So if you think a mountain lion would obviously stand out to him, seeing something so prominent after you just slow down and walk around. Hey, so after finding this scrape back before Christmas, I decided that was from a male, that scrape. And so I put a trail camera up, and I didn't capture any badgers or anything like that. The only thing I caught was some deer walking in front of the camera. And I had the camera up for a good few months. And so I decided then that most probably the female who had been making screams the year before had got pregnant. So she wasn't advertising herself as ready to mate. So I went to a different woods further up the road here along the motorway, and I spent the afternoon walking around there looking for scrapes, and it didn't find anything at all. And it was only when I was walking back that I actually managed to see from the road another area where I think I found scrapes. So if you look in there, so it's a lot easier in the winter when there weren't any, so when there's no greenery or anything around. But I'll show you a closer look now and then explain how these like subtle signs could indicate a mountain lion's presence. So as you can see, you've got the road there, which is a natural point where any animal would have to slow down. And then you come here, I'm not sure if you can see where my shadow is, you've got debris in the foreground, debris afterwards, and you've got a clear area before. And then on the other side, next to this tree here, it's quite clear in that the debris is cleared away on the one side and not on the other. If I take it out of the sunlight, perhaps see better. So you've got very thick debris on the ground there, and you've got a big clearing there and another one there next to it, so with an area in between. So look, the ground probably is harder here, so they can't scrape away quite as much, but these obviously like are big things, and you have to think to yourself what's caused that there to be scraped away but not further back here and on this tree on the one side and not on the other. So what I did, obviously, is started rummaging around to see where this led. And if you go this way, you've got fields on the one side, and you've got a big drop off down to a stream, and there's actually a nature corridor that I found along here. So people don't walk along here, but clearly deer are walking along here. So if I go down, I explored further along. I think I found some more scrapes further along, but I won't bore you with the whole walk. So this type of terrain where you have a V shape in the landscape is ideal for big cats because they hunt by their nose, and so cold air will drain down from the fields into this channel, and they'll get the scent of any animal that's around. And so if I go further down, you'll see there's also a stream along here, which will probably be a place where deer will go. So I walked further along, and there was just a deer that was in the brambles there. Just ran away from me just as I was turning the camera on, which was unlucky. There's a stream here. And it's like clearly not an area where a lot of humans are going. So I think that wildlife would be pretty happy in this sort of environment, which is probably where they prefer to be than out in the open. Hi, so I'll just show you the area where I decided to put the camera up. So this is on that tree there, and you can see the ground there has got lots of debris. And if you look down there, it's going to be full of stinging nettles pretty soon. And so I'm thinking, see, the thing with these trail cameras is better to have animal coming towards you than to put it where an animal's going to walk across and just going to catch like the tail of an animal, for example. And so I'm going to leave it up for a good few months and see what happens. Obviously, like, they do come and mark their territory, but I don't know like how often they're going to do this. So I'm thinking the breeding season might be over, so any male might come around and mark his territory, but not particularly keen to come back here every day. So not many people around here, you do feel a bit vulnerable. So hopefully this video is useful if anyone's going to put any trail cameras up and try to get photos of big cats. Obviously, like, I'm thinking they're scrapes, but let me know what you think. I'll put the footage at the end of what I did catch after having the cameras up for a good 2 or 3 months. So, and that was just one deer. Luckily it wasn't spooked by the camera, but yeah, so if you like this video, then obviously please like, subscribe, comment on the video and share with your friends if you think they might like it too. Thank you very much.